Today we have our presenter, Steve Cramer from Newbridge, and he's the Senior VP of Operations at Newbridge Business Solutions. He also serves on a number of boards for various different entities, and we're excited to have him with us to talk about some customer service. So, Steve, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and turn the time over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. So it's all about relationships, right? So now that you're looking at this scenario and say, okay, well, how do I train these people? How do I, what do I put together? And so this is kind of an example of some curriculum that we've done for some organizations, give them some guidance. The technologies out there, the fundamentals of communication. What is software and how to use the software, basics of, interpersonal skills, agent skills, management quality, and then certifications that they may or may not have for their industry in particular. So now you get into a scenario where, okay, so how do you find these people? Well, I'm not an HR person. I'm not a staffing person or a recruiter. But, I do hire people, for my organization. And we have clients that hire people as well for very large organizations. And so it's a situation where, what is your position requirements? And that's a conversation I think that we've had in this country the last several years. The qualifications, are they determined or are they very open and broad? There's positives and negatives to that. And then you look at the personality analysis. Does that person have the skill set from a personality perspective to be able to accomplish the goals of that job requirement that you're looking to hire those people? How competent are they, right? Competency. So competency is measured in many different ways. So for example, there's a customer that we have that is a very large insurance company, and they have a call center. It's very large. And so before COVID, for them to hire someone into their contact center environment, they required a minimum, I think, of 3 to 4 years experience of customer service in the insurance industry, or an undergrad to be minimum requirements for that position. And then after that, it was interpersonal skills, et cetera, et cetera. So what ended up happening is that most of the people they received through the job posting process who were interested in the job had these types of requirements, but they may have been in other organizations and maybe not been that successful for whatever reason, and you can read into that, why they don't work there anymore. So they were always struggling to find new individuals. Well, when COVID came, they were very desperate for people, and so they ended up hiring people without experience and without that had great personality skills. And so now we're looking at, what is the position requirements, augmenting that requirement, and the qualifications was then augmented because they had that, and they were putting the heavier analysis on personality. And so as a result, they ended up getting people who had different backgrounds and experience based on their ability to communicate, going back to the relationship conversation. And what ended up happening is their customer service ratings with their clients went up, and their attrition rate for their personnel went down. And you think, well, why did that happen? Because they were hiring a different group of people, and those people were looking for a different opportunity within the customer service or the service-related industry. And so what did that then prompt the company to do? Well, they went through a training process, right? Because maybe these people didn't have the experience that prior type individuals had when they had gone through the old job description process. So they had to put together a skill training process to really help these individuals to be even better at what they were doing and being hired to do. So they had the skills from a communication perspective. They had the right attitude, the right perspective on how to deal with clients, but maybe they needed some fine-tuning of their skills. So they put them through a process of skill determination. It was, okay, we're going to have a mapping process, and we're going to find out, how to figure out what the different experience levels, the quality of experience, and we're going to train them on how to be most effective. So we're going to make the investments in these individuals to help them be and to ensure that they will be successful in the organization, meaning how they communicate with clients. It goes back to the conversation of having a great product, having above average service, and understanding that your employees, as they interact with your customers, need to build relationships, because that helps the service and the product model as well. So what they ended up doing is going through this process of mapping this out, determining the skills required by individual, and then once they train them, do skill demonstration, meaning they were basically tested, and analysis was on the individuals post-training to determine how successful they were. And if they needed additional training, they would put them through, different levels of skill training to determine, and fine-tune and improve the skills that they were still lacking or needed some fine. So what that enabled those teams to do is to be in a situation where now they had a group of individuals that were more diverse from knowledge and background and experience, and they were able to support their clients in the channel of their choice.